Yo, what is up, guys? Delboy here. So Demetrius Andrade outboxes Maciej Sulecki with no bother to a 12-round unanimous decision. Now, for me, Andrade clearly won this fight. He had it all his own way. He was always in control, and he barely dropped a round. He won this fight from start to finish, basically. Started really well. He actually came out fairly aggressively out of that southpaw stance. He was looking for that looping or sweeping left hand, and he caught Sulecki with a good shot that dropped him. More of a flash knockdown. I don't think Sulecki was hurt, but he got dropped. He gets up, beats the count. Round one, great start by Demetrius Andrade. But after that, Andrade is content to box out of that southpaw stance. He was peppering Sulecki with that jab, and he was just outboxing Maciej Sulecki. Sometimes Andrade was a bit low output, but Sulecki really didn't have much success in this fight. He struggled to gauge his distance. He struggled to land clean, effective punches on Andrade, so his defense in this fight was pretty tight. Sulecki is a guy who usually brings a good work rate. He can put his shots together fairly well. He's got good punch variety. He can box himself. And Andrade completely shut him out. He completely neutralised Maciej Sulecki. And I think that's the best way to describe this fight. Andrade neutralised Sulecki, but he never really stepped on the gas apart from that first round. And that was unfortunate because Andrade shows glimpses of decent offense, He showed that in the first round where he dropped Sulecki, but he never really stepped on the gas since. And that was really my only criticism of his performance. I would have liked to have seen him get a bit more aggressive at times because Sulecki really wasn't troubling him, but Andrade was content to box safety first and win the rounds. And listen, I guess that's fair enough, but at the same time, that's not going to win you over with casual boxing fans. I personally didn't think this fight was as boring as some people make out. I actually enjoyed aspects of Andrade's performance, but at the same time, to the broader market, that wasn't going to do him any favours in terms of getting big fights with the likes of Canelo Alvarez, for example. So, despite winning clearly against a good guy in Sulecki, has Andrade done his chances any good in terms of getting a big fight with the likes of Canelo? Not really. I don't think he's done himself any favours, unfortunately. Now, boxing shouldn't work like that. It should be a case of top fighters fighting top fighters, but listen, it's all about money, and if you are not bringing X amount to the table, Canelo's really not going to consider you. We saw that with Jamal Charlo, for example, recently. I felt Demetrius Andrade was fairly impressive defensively. He didn't really get touched up that much at all. Occasionally, he would lose his concentration and get caught, but really minor, didn't happen often. And in terms of his offense, like I said, I would have liked to have seen him up his output a bit more and get a bit more aggressive and try to put his shots together. But not only that, at times, sometimes Andrade, his punch technique isn't always the best. So like I said, his left hand is like a sweeping left hand. It's not a straight shot. And sometimes he throws himself off balance and loses his bearings. Things like that, offensively, he needs to improve on. I would like to see a better straight left hand from Andrade. But, I'm nitpicking. Ultimately, he won this fight. He won this fight clearly. And he beat a good guy in Sulecki. Bear in mind, Sulecki went life and death with Daniel Jacobs. Andrade pretty much comprehensively outboxed him. So, listen, it's a good win. It's a good solid win over a guy who I rated as a top 10 middleweight. And ultimately, I was fairly impressed. And also, since Andrade's comeback, since he signed with DAZN, I think he is getting better with each fight. In the first fight against Kalton Dokwa, his feet looked a little off, as did his reactions. In the Akovov fight, he picked it up a bit, but again, not quite there. In this fight against Sulecki, I felt Andrade found another level. So I think he's getting better. I think staying active is helping him out massively, and in his next fight I expect another raise in terms of his performance levels. So yeah, a good win by Andrade. He wouldn't have won himself over with casual fans, but I felt he boxed quite well. Share your thoughts below. Peace.